Good evening, and we are to start with Act 1, Scene 1 from Merchant of Venice. And we see Antonio, the protagonist of the play. He is there in the street with his friends Solanio and Salario. And they find him in a very sad and a pensive mood. And they're trying to guess what probably could be the reason behind his melancholy and his solemn behavior. They try to guess that probably because he's a rich merchant and he's got all his commercial ventures are out in the sea to different countries, to different ports. So probably, he's anxious about their safety. And Antonio denies that. He says he knows not why he is sad. And he says the opening sentence of the play says, "In sooth, I know not why I am sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it is made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn." So you see, he confesses the very fact that he knows not why he is so sad, what is the reason behind his sadness. And of course, the two friends further try to tease him by saying probably it is love, because when one is in love, one is apprehensive, one is sad, one has mood fluctuations. So, of course, he scoffs that off and he says that's not it either. And we see that Salario's reasons are quite justified in the sense that probably it is his mercantile ships that make him sad, because his ships, his argosies were rich. They were like rich workers. They were like pageants of the sea. And in comparison to Antonio's ships, the other boats and all looked like petty traffickers. And anyone in his place would have been, worried about the safe return of his ships. But Antonio repeatedly says that that is not the reason for his sadness. A little later, we find the three other friends of Antonio, Bassanio, Gratiano, and Lorenzo add on and join them. And of course, the two main characters in the play, Antonio and Bassanio, we see them here. Bassanio is the closest, and Gratiano is, of course, a very loud, garrulous, cheerful character, and Lorenzo is the quietest among them. And Gratiano also tries to cheer up his friend Antonio, and he says that why should he be so sad? Why does he look so sad? And he has no reasons to offer. And Antonio says, "I hold the world, but as the world, Gratiano, a stage where every man must play a part, and mine a sad one." And Gratiano says, "Let me play the fool. So you can enjoy playing the sad role, but let me play the fool, the merrymaker." And of course, he also warns his friend, giving him a friendly advice that do not behave like Sir Oracle, and do not make your sadness, your silence a bait to attract attention. And of course, after a little bit of talking and light-hearted talking and conversation, the friends leave, and we see only Antonio and Bassanio on the stage now, and they discuss how useless and baseless Gratiano's talks are, and they're absolutely unworthy of any serious content. Of course, a little later, Antonio asks Bassanio, they're very close, they're youngsters. Bassanio is a young man, he's a lover, but he's broke, he's a spendthrift, and he has incurred a lot of loan. But of course, he has this best friend of his, that is Antonio, a rich merchant, and who would love him, and they share a common purse, if I can use the term. And so Antonio inquires about this lady he is in love with, and what are his plans. And Bassanio says that of course he has plans to visit her in Belmont and to woo her, just as all other suitors would. But of course that would incur a lot of expenditure, and he has no money. And he really wants to borrow some money from Antonio, and he says, "To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love." And he says that this is a kind of a plan. He intends to go to Belmont, woo, and if he's fortunate enough to marry this rich lady Portia, he would be able to come back and repay the loan. Antonio, of course, would do anything to make Bassanio happy, to make him do what he wants to do. But at present, he just does not have the money. And we see Bassanio, endlessly praising Portia, the lady he loves, calling her in Belmont is a lady richly left and of wondrous virtues. To Cato's daughter, she can be compared to Cato's daughter and Brutus's Portia. So, of course, you can see he's madly in love, and along with that, he also knows that she's rich. So, the money that she has, with that money, if he's fortunate enough to marry her, he can repay Antonio's loans. And of course, as I just said, that Antonio at present does not have money, but he will find a solution to help his friend out. And he tells him that let's go and look for avenues from where, and people from whom they can borrow and, take some loan. And Antonio has earned a goodwill in Venice. He is a rich merchant, a merchant of great reputation. So he will make maximum use of his reputation to gain money and loan for his friend. And he says, the scene comes to an end with Antonio saying, where money is, and I no question make, to have it of my trust or for my sake, which means no matter what the conditions, what the terms and conditions of the loan would be, he is willing to undertake anything to help his friend Bassanio. So such is the love between the two friends, such is the friendship, the deep, deep friendship between Antonio and Bassanio. So we come to the end of Act 1, Scene 1, and from here the play will move on to another segment. And of course, I know we are all very eager to know about Portia. So wait till I come up with my next video, which will have Act 1, Scene 2. Thank you. Good night.